You can still do the exercises with us. But what I wanted to do with you guys today is something that is called the commitment test. And this is something that was shared at Summit at the leadership seminar that Emmy and I had attended. I believe you may have left before this was talked about because you were doing the what's it called, the classic. So you're all rubbing tanning oil and things all over yourself in the bathroom, and this is what we were learning. So the commitment test is something that is super simple to do. All you need is a pen, a piece of paper. So I hope everyone brought both of those items with you. And I want you to take your paper and like fold it in half or draw a line down the middle, some way to kind of separate the left side from the right side of your paper. If you want to do it hot dog style, you can do it that way. Hamburger style, doesn't matter as long as you have two sides of your paper. So once you've done that, I want you to write on one of the columns excuses and thoughts, like just the words, excuses and thoughts. All right, I already did that part, so I'm waiting. Now my husband's calling me. He knows I'm on a call. And then on the second side, I want you to write actions taken. Okay. All right, everyone have their paper set up?
Yeah.
Excuses, actions taken. All right, cool. So I am going to give you guys some time to do this. Since it's being recorded, I'm not sure if I could play music on it because if I upload it to YouTube, it may get knocked down. But basically, I want you guys to understand that, and I kind of talked about this in the team page earlier this week. I'm not sure how many of you saw it. I know a couple of you did comment on it, which made me really happy to see that you're reading what's being shared in there. But when you join as a coach, it's okay that you started as you were, but it's not okay to stay as you were. So the reason why you're a coach has a lot to do with, obviously you want to help other people and you want to grow a business and you want to change their lives, but you also can't forget about yourself and the personal growth that you want to have and the success that you want to have in your life, because that is why we're so lucky and so fortunate that we have the ability to work this business and create the life that we want for ourselves while other people are just back complaining about how much they hate their life. We're sitting there working our asses off to change ours. So it's okay that if you came into this business not where you wanted to be, whether that's with your fitness goals or with your business goals or your life goals, like we all start somewhere and that's okay. But it's not okay to stay there. If you want to succeed, you can't stay there. You can't stay in that comfort zone of like, okay, well, this is me. This is who I am. You have to be willing to change. So what I want you to do, I guess we'll give you like a few minutes to fill out, and I'm also going to be doing this, so I'll be able to gauge the time that way. But I want you to fill out all of the excuses that you make about your business. So whether that has to do with, oh, I don't have enough time to send my invites because I am a mom or I work a full-time job. Or maybe it's, like I'm just not good at this, or I'm just not fit out to be a coach, or that person has more followers than I do, or like anything that you tell yourself as to why you're not succeeding. Any thoughts, any excuses, anything that comes to mind when you think about your business and why you're not where you want to be. All right. Does everyone understand what we're doing for the next 5-ish minutes? Yes? Okay. So do that and we will, we'll take a look at them after everyone's done that. But do you know if I could play music or no? I don't know. If I upload it to YouTube, it'll probably get in trouble, right? I don't know. All right, well, start filling those out. Any excuses or thoughts, whether it's personal, whether it's like something about your team, something about like the coaches on your team. anything like my coaches aren't working the business or whatever you say all the time as to why you're not where you want to be, and go. How's your list looking? Were you writing stuff down? We're thinking of stuff? Yeah. Did anyone just hop on now and has no idea what's going on? No? Okay, just checking because it'd be pretty awkward to hop on a call with nobody speaking. Are anyone still working? It's fine if you are. I see people still writing, so I'll give you some more time. Yep. Hey, I'm still on a call. Just letting you know. Anyone still working on your list? Raise your hand if you're still writing. Everyone's done? How about raise your hand if you're done? That's probably easier. Okay, cool. Everyone's done. So, show of hands. If you have more than 2 items on your list, raise your hand. More than 4? More than 6? More than 8? More than 10? Okay, so around 10. All right, so now I want you to, on the other side, oh, Melissa just hopped on. Hold on. Hey, Melissa, so we're making a list. We drew a line down the middle of our paper, and on one side we're writing down all of the excuses and thoughts that we have in our head or that we tell ourselves as to why we're not succeeding in the business. Okay? So you can start working on that. And then everyone else is going to move on to the second half of your paper where you're going to be writing down actions that you're taking. Like, what is it that you're doing to move your business forward? Right? Like, what are some things that you're doing that are positive? You guys still working? Yeah? Okay. What? Yeah, he pooped twice. I thought it was Nathan. Oh well. We good? Or are we still working? Raise your hand if you're done. Is that everyone? I guess everyone whose face that I can see. Okay, so raise your hand and keep your hand raised if you have more than 2 items on your list of actions. More than 4. More than 6. More than 8. More than, is anyone up still? All right, more than 10? Okay, so around the same number, 10. 10-ish, okay. So raise your hand if your excuses and thoughts list is longer than your actions list. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So raise your hand if your actions list is longer than your excuses list. Okay, we've got 3. Okay, so what I want you to do is take a look at your list, and most of us have more excuses and thoughts than our actions, and maybe it had a lot to do with the time that we were given to write down each thing, like who knows. But when did your excuses get so big, right? That list is the longest for most of us, right? And when did we allow it to get that big? And look at those things on your list and see if there's anything on your actions list that goes along with that. So, for example, one of my excuses or thoughts that I have is I don't have enough coaches dedicated to working this business and wanting it as bad as I do. That's one of my excuses that I tell myself every day as to why I'm not where I want to be. But on my actions taking list, I don't see anywhere inviting X amount of people to coaching or like focusing on finding my people, my tribe. That's not on my actions list. All I have is just posting, inviting, following up, like very basic. So my excuses that I'm making, the actions that I'm taking are doing nothing to change the things that I'm telling myself as to why I'm not where I need to be. And that's just one example. I mean, I have 13 on my list of excuses and thoughts. So that's just something that now that you have this list, you're going to be able to look at your excuses and thoughts and then create actions that are going to eliminate those from your list. So does anyone have an excuse or thought that they'd want to share with us? And we can kind of figure out maybe an action or something that we can do to change that. I mean, some things maybe aren't as easy to change as others, but just unmute and you can share. Yes. Anyone?
Well, the biggest one was the one that you said for me, was that no one really wants to actually work business. So I was like trying to find ways that I could get them, more interested in it by, like giving them back the 25 on commission, things like that, finder's fees. Like that was my biggest one. All the other stuff is honestly like just me finding the time, because I've been really crazy busy, that with the new business starting and stuff, but that's my fault. Like I dropped the ball on that. I have to get back into a system as far as reaching out. But the biggest one, like you said, is finding people that really, get where we're coming from and what we're really trying to do and be a part of this amazing thing. I get people like, yeah, I want to do it. And then they're just like, then they just drop off. They're like, no, they just continue not doing anything. So,
yeah. Did anybody else have that one on your list? Excuses as to why you're not where you want to be, that you don't have people that want to work the business as much as you do? Yeah. A couple people had that one too. Yeah. So taking that one and kind of picking that apart, what are some actions besides like inviting people that we can do to help find more people who want to work this business? Does anyone have anything they want to share that could help with that one? Besides just inviting and hoping that someone sticks?
Maybe like share more about the opportunity with people.
Share more about the opportunity. Yeah, and like what aspects of the opportunity?
Like the fun stuff, the good stuff, like talk about that, it does take hard work, but also it's fun. Share like the community stuff, share the wins, like share you and your team doing things, just things that are more attractive to people than just like working. Even though it does take hard work, people want something that's going to add value in our life more than just money.
Yeah, definitely. So talking about it, sharing it on your social media, being comfortable doing that, Kind of making your social media a sneak peek into what we do without giving them all the details, making it like a public sneak peek, different things like that. And also speaking to the person that you want. So if you want people that want to work and people who like want to take this seriously, you're not going to be saying like, oh yeah, like super easy. All you have to do is, just sign up. Because then that's all they're going to do. They're going to sign up and then they're not going to do anything and they're going to expect success. So a lot of it has to do with the way that you talk to people. Can you guys still hear me? You can't hear me because he's squeaking? Stop. A lot of it has to do with, how you talk to people in conversation, and also how you present the opportunity, how you talk about it on your social media. But also, you have to understand that there are a lot of people out there who like to say they want to change and like to say they want to do things, and it's a bunch of BS. And the only way you find it out is when they sign up and then they don't do anything. So it's really, really hard to tell how somebody is going to be at this business until they like are a part of it and get started with it. But the most important thing that you can do as a coach is, number one, make sure they're committing to a program from start to finish and getting results, because that's what's going to build their belief in what we have and their belief in this company and in Shakeology and in the programs. And once they have that, it's really hard for them to not want to talk about it with other people. So that's number one. So if you're finding that you have people that don't want to work the business and they're like not really into it, go back and see if they've committed to a program. Have they completed a program? Have they gotten results? Are they enjoying Shakeology? Are they somebody who's becoming a natural advocate of the products and programs? Because those people are going to easily transition into coach. And whether they sign up as a discount coach and that first month you're working with them on getting results and, finding their groove and getting into a routine, they're going to naturally start sharing that on their own without you even telling them like what to do. And then you can kind of step in and say like, hey, I see you're talking to people and everything, and I'm sure people are interested. Let's actually teach you how to work this business, because I feel like, you're already doing it, but let's just kind of fine tune those skills and help you start to grow this, because you're really great at it. And they're already signed up as a coach, so you don't have to like go through all of that with them. So that's just something that I think is important. Emmy said too, posting more about the coaching opportunity, breadcrumbing it into your post, jab, right hook, just kind of talking about coaching without inviting, talking about it without inviting, and then hitting them with the right hook and inviting them in that post. Those are just some different tips. But the main point of this call is to really let you see that a lot of times we can let our excuses make us like, the excuses that we make can create inaction. So like if you keep making excuses and saying things as to why you're not where you are, you're less likely to take action, because you're just going to go back to that like, oh, well, for example, like, oh, I don't have any support from my upline, so like I can't succeed. And then just keep going back to that. Like, my coach doesn't support me. I don't have any upline support, so I'm just never going to succeed anyway, so why try? Or I'm never going to be recognized for my efforts, so why bother? Like that, if you just keep going back to that excuse that you have, it's not going to make you want to work. You're just going to feel like, well, what's the point? So I want you to start focusing on growing your actions taken list and using the other side where you have your excuses and thoughts to kind of create the actions that you should be taking versus actions that are going to get you further away from where you want to be. So obviously we don't want to keep making excuses, and these are things that we don't want in our lives anymore. So however you decide to, once you're done looking over the list and creating actions for yourself, however you decide to destroy your excuses is totally up to you. Whether you want to draw a big red X through it, maybe you want to put it in your paper shredder, maybe you want to cut it with scissors, burn it with a match or a lighter, whatever you want to do. The whole point of this exercise is to like acknowledge the excuses and thoughts that you're having, figure out actions to change those thoughts and things you can do that are positive for your business, and then destroying your excuses in whichever way makes you feel good. So does anyone have any other excuses or thoughts that maybe they're struggling with finding action steps or finding ways to stop having those thoughts or making those excuses? Anything that we haven't like touched on yet? Because I mean, I've got 13 on my list, so I'm sure there's some out there that we haven't talked about yet. I mean, you guys kept your hands up. I know you have at least 10. Kelsey, what's one from your list? I'm going to call people out now because nobody's telling me.
Too many money objections.
Too many money objections? So that's why you're not a diamond coach, because you're getting too many money objections?
Yep.
Silly that sounds.
Yeah.
Right?
When you break it down like that, for sure.
It sounds really funny. Like, oh, I'm not a diamond because I keep getting money objections. No. But yeah, that's something that we talked about last week too, with the making posts about it and talking about it. And that's something that you're really good at too. So I don't think it has anything to do with what you're not doing. I think it just has everything to do with the people that you're talking to. Maybe it's just like the demographic of people or the niche of people that you're connecting with. Maybe it has everything to do with the time of year that it is. And this is something that I was speaking to Rebecca about this morning, where right now is the time where we have to put up our shields, because we're going into battle for the next 3 months, and we're battling against excuses. Okay, so we know they're coming. It's just how this time of year is. Whether this is your first holiday season as a coach, or your fourth or your third, however long you've been a coach, you know that this season is the time for making excuses. It's like, 'tis the season to make up an excuse as to why I can't get healthy. Like, that's literally what we're going into. So something that we can do now to kind of play defense or offense or whatever is to think about it now and start talking about it now, so that when the time comes where people are making these excuses, they've already seen you posting and talking about why now is a great time. So something that you can think about is, okay, well, the next 3 months of the year, we're almost reaching that like 90-day left in the year time of the year. And I think Wednesday's like 97 days. So we're like, in about a week, there's going to be 90 days left in the year. So you can use that to your advantage and start talking about things like, all right, there's 3 months left in the year. How have you done with those New Year's resolutions you set in the beginning of the year? Start talking about that. Start talking about ending the year stronger than when you started. Start talking about making this year different, ending that trend of always gaining weight over the holidays. This year is going to be different for you. You're not going to gain weight. You're going to stay committed to your goals. You're still going to enjoy the holidays. You're still going to have some wine and cheese and all the other treats and things that go along with the holidays and fried foods or whatever. You're still going to do that, but you're also not going to give up working towards your goals. So start thinking of all of the excuses that you're going to get before you get them, is basically what I'm trying to say. So think of all the things that you're going to be hearing and start making posts about those things right now, so that when they come, they kind of feel like an asshole because you already told them why it's not an excuse. You're already prepping that for them to not be able to make that excuse because you've already battled it before they gave it to you. So start talking about that in your posts, in your stories, when you're talking to people. Make a list. Maybe if we make a team list and everyone just kind of dumps ideas in there as to some things that, like, reasons why during the holidays aren't a good time to get started. And if anyone has like a great answer for it, we can add it in there. So if someone says like, oh, shopping and I need money for the holidays, a great comeback to that would be, awesome, well, you should just be a coach because you can earn some money to pay for your kids' presents this year. So lots of things that are going to be coming our way. There are really great ways to flip it around. Honestly, I think now is the best time of year to get started because, I mean, summer's over. If you already missed the summer, now's the time to start working on your goals because, you know, it's not, if you start in the summer, you're going to be fit by the end of the summer, but then it's fall and you got to wear sweaters and vests anyway, and you're covering all your results. So now is the time where you really want to start working on yourself so that come summertime, you get to enjoy the entire summer fit instead of starting the summer not fit and ending the summer fit. You know, like this is a great time, and we just really have to show people why and show them the tool, like show them that this is the way for them to get started, end the year strong, start next year really strong too, and why their excuses are just made out of fear. They're afraid they're not going to be able to stay on track because the holidays, they've got too much going on. Like we haven't heard it before. You know, they said the same thing in the summer, so what makes this time of year any different? So just start doing that. We'll make I'll make a little document and sweat your heart out, and it'll be like fall of excuses, and we can put all the things that we're going to start hearing. And anyone, if you have a great response to it, you can just answer it or type it right below, and we'll just work together so that we can go into the next couple of months stronger, because we are stronger when we work together. There's no sense for everyone to go out and do this on their own. Let's just combine forces, do this together, and really end this year better than we started, and going into the next 3 months with confidence, knowing that we can handle whatever may be thrown our way. Does that sound like something that would be helpful? Having
Yes.
a little like bank, I guess. Yeah, that's Brittany said, a bank of objections and ways to combat them for the fall and the holidays. Yeah. All right, cool. I mean, I think that's really it as far as what I wanted to talk about, unless anyone had anything else that kind of goes along with this that you want to share. But the main thing is, which side of this list do you want to put your energy into? Right? Which one are you going to put more energy into? The excuses and thoughts or the actions? Because only one of them is going to get you to your goals. One of them is just going to get you further away and make you feel like shit. So, for lack of a better term. And I mean, I'm preaching to myself too, because I find myself in these situations where I'm like, well, this, and this person, this, and whatever. Like, that's why I'm not where I am. I'm not perfect. Like, I've been doing this for 4 years. That doesn't make me any better than anyone on this call. I still get in my head. I still say I'm not where I want to be because of other factors that have nothing to do with me. I still say those things, but I know that when I do get into those situations, I literally do this exercise and I sit down and write down, okay, what am I doing? What can I do to change that? What are some actions that I can take to move my business forward? So like I said in the beginning of this call, it's okay that you joined this team as you were, but it's not okay if you to stay as you were if you want to succeed. We love you either way, but we want to see you succeed. And the only way you're going to do that is if you grow into your goals and step outside of your comfort zone, put your excuses aside, burn them with your lighter, however you want to destroy the evidence, and just start moving forward. And so it's not always going to be easy. We know that, but the days where you push past that and the days where you succeed makes all the hard stuff worth it. And just think about how, 3 months from now, you can tell one of your coaches the story of how you were feeling like you weren't succeeding in your business, and then you did this exercise and you wrote down all your excuses and you wrote down your actions and you took action and you moved your business forward. It's going to be a really awesome success story and a really great thing that you can share with your future coaches. And it's a great thing that, they could even do it. You can share this with them. If they're not on this call, they can watch the recording and do it. If they join after this is a great exercise. If you ever have a coach struggling with, why am I not going anywhere? Have them do this and see if this helps them. So that's it for tonight. I hope that you found that helpful and it was fun and a little different than what we normally do. No yoga mats this time, but still fun. And yeah, that's about it. So any last comments? Anything? Yeah, Tara, get back on that train. Month's not over yet, by the way, guys. Like, still have time to reach your goals. So don't wait until next month. because then you're only slowing yourself down for next month too. Start going now. All right, I guess that's it. Good night. See you next week.
Night.